Hi everyone, first of all, welcome. And today I want to share with you everything I've learned about obstacles in life, why we have all these challenging experiences, why we have challenging people around us, and basically how angels taught me to see all these obstacles from a higher perspective and to learn to appreciate them. Maybe not at the moment I'm in the midst of it, but definitely once I have the distance, I can see the whole reason and lesson that was behind it. It all started actually with angels. Putting one specific poem in front of me. It was everywhere basically, but it was the poem by Rumi. It's called Guest House, and it's probably the most beautiful thing I've ever read. It contains so much truth in it that it's just amazing, really, how few sentences can wake you up. And basically, how I say it and how I interpret it is that he says in the poem that our bodies, again, this is just my interpretation. Our bodies are houses, guest houses. Our souls are hosts in it. And everything we experience, everything, all the emotions we get from all these experiences and from other people are actually guests. And all these guests are sent as guides from beyond. That completely, I didn't even know what that exactly means. It just resonated with me and it made me feel great at the time when I heard it. The next thing that happened was actually me getting a book from my friend, and the book was Journey of Souls by Michael Newton. And he basically did hypnosis on his clients, and it happened in one of the sessions that his client went to describe things that possibly couldn't describe if it wasn't like it was the experience from that person's past life. And that how everything started. And in that book he actually introduced to, like, angels introduced, an author of course, introduced to me the whole concept of incarnations and souls having multiple lives and being basically on a journey. I was raised in Orthodox Christian family and I knew about incarnations, but I knew it, but I didn't understand it and didn't actually have much knowledge about it. So basically when I read that book, what it gave me understanding why things are happening, why we are here, why we have challenges, why we have other people as well in our lives. And it doesn't matter. Once you understand things, you understand they are neither good or bad. They are there, all of them, to teach you something and to provide you a map for going further and for growing and for expanding your consciousness and to expand actually the whole universe. Because how we grow, it has very much the effect on our environment as well and on other people. So book actually introduce idea of souls coming here and basically doing a long preparation to come to physical form and actually a planning process, how to use this experience to actually learn something. And souls are very much aware that once they are in a physical form, mind won't know about this plan. It's going to be just soul that knows about this plan. And the soul is one actually that needs to guide the mind in the right direction. That's why it's so important to get mind and soul to work together. Because if mind goes in one direction, soul goes in the other direction, at one point mind is going to be, it needs to be stopped. And that's where problems or obstacles or challenges come into play. It will stop the mind from going further in the wrong direction. It will tell the mind, change it, you're going in completely wrong direction. You need to change it, you need to follow the soul. And it's basically also, once we experience obstacle, what we will start doing is gather as many information, as many resources we can to actually solve the situation. And all these informations and all these details we are building around the challenge to solve it is basically like doing a jigsaw puzzle. When we finish the picture, we will have a detailed plan for the rest of our life. How to improve it, where we need to go, you know? And that's why it's so important to have a higher perspective on it. That's why actually angels they made sure that I understand that there is a higher perspective, that problems can be seen from completely different angles. And once you see them from that angle, you choose in your life, are you going to be a victim of life, or you will do everything for your life to be your ally, to help you to grow and to improve you. And even I would say there is also a problem with the word problem, because it has a certain heaviness. It doesn't give you even a hope that there is a solution. That's why it's so important to change our words as well, because they play very, very important role actually in our lives. Once you start calling a problem a challenge, oh, there's something I can do about it. Suddenly, I can change things. I can solve them. However, once you see them even from a higher perspective, you will see that there's going to be even more. You will suddenly see so many resources to solve the problem. You will see why it happened. You will understand it. And once you understand it, you will definitely know that it's specifically tailored for you to learn something. Again, I didn't mention that, but they are like how I see challenges in our life. I separate them into groups. There are challenges that are specifically designed for us. And this could be an illness, this could be a falling relationship, this could be a challenging people, this could be a challenging environment, business failure, this could be a money problem, anything that challenges you and it just doesn't leave you. Even if you choose to avoid it at one point, it comes again into your life, because you need to learn certain lesson. And as I said, you need to move in the right direction. That's why that lesson will never leave you. It will repeat until you learn it. So yeah, as I mentioned, soul, if you see that from a higher perspective, you will know why it's happening. You will understand it. You will even understand that it's just there. It's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing at the moment it's happening. But the next moment, when you get a little bit of distance and you see why it's happening, you will use it. You won't be a victim. And that's why it's so important to learn things like this. That's why I'm so, so grateful to all the difficult people, to all the difficult situations in my life. Because without them, I wouldn't be what I am at the moment. I will have certainly those problems again and again. And maybe I will have some of them again. But the next time when they happen, I will ask myself, why is this happening? Why this? What this is trying to teach me, you know? And there are also other types of challenges that include like a shared lesson. It could be that and it's usually related to people we love the most in our lives. It could be that that person is has certain challenge like illness, or that we lose that person completely. And it could be that what also that book explained to me is when souls are making those plans, there are groups of souls that usually incarnate together. And what happens in that case, sometimes we just decide to come with certain soul just to help that soul learn something and experience something. But sometimes what also happens is that the same thing will affect my life as well and shift it. For example, I know people who lost people they love the most, and then as a result that changed their life as well. Again, we can choose, are we going to be learners, you know, students, or are we going to be victims? And that's why even if you choose not to see the whole situation from a higher perspective, it's very important how you will say it for your everyday life. Are you going to be appreciative of that, or are you going to be bitter about it? And that's the whole point of learning, of growth, of expansion. It will have a great effect on your everyday life as well, and how you feel, and what kind of future you're choosing for yourself. So thank you for coming here. Thank you for hearing my message. And thank you for all the work you're doing on yourself. And I also want to say thank you to the universe, to angels, for constantly sending me a guidance and sending me even the obstacles that will guide me in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.